I'm tired. I am so tired. This girl has hit the wall. It happened yesterday. I knew it was going to happen. I'm actually quite impressed with myself that it didn't happen before it did, because thank goodness I got through all of our big social events before I hit the wall. So we're just going to sit down here and chat. I haven't posted anything for Vlogmas. You may have noticed. I don't know. I haven't posted anything since Thursday. And I knew it was going to be tricky because I was going to be away Friday and Saturday, and then we had another party Saturday night. And I figured I would get back to it yesterday, which was Sunday. I think today's the 16th. It's Monday the 16th. Anyway, I didn't have anything left in me yesterday. We went to church, and I felt like I never even woke up from sleeping. We went to church with our daughter yesterday. She goes to a different church than us. I've had some questions about our religion. So we are non-denominational, Bible believing. We go into a non-denominational church. And earlier this year, our daughter decided to go to a different church in town, which is an evangelical Presbyterian church. So, and we don't force our kids to, they're both adults. They make their own decisions. And so we're cool with that. But we, every now and then, we'll go to church with her. We've actually only ever gone there twice. I forget. I think she started going there in February, maybe. It's a beautiful church. It's like, oh my gosh. It reminds me a lot of the chapel at the college that, Grove City College. The chapel there is gorgeous, and this church that she goes to, it reminds me of that. So anyway, I took some footage yesterday of just how pretty it was. So if I can, maybe I'll put some of the photos in here, but it's such a gorgeous church. I loved it. It just feels really peaceful. Yeah. Anyway, we got home from church. We had to make 2 stops on our way home, and we got home. I was going to take a nap, and then I didn't. I don't even remember all I did. I didn't actually do anything yesterday. I think I knitted a bit. I think I looked at a book. I didn't use electronics. I did not want to. My brain is just everything's overstimulated in my body. I mean, a lot of it was unavoidable. Yeah, and I don't want to go on and on about it, but it's just a lesson to myself. It's a lesson. And I knew that I was going to probably be really tired after. So I'm trying to be nice to myself. I'm trying to quiet my inner judge who is saying, you need to just keep going, push through. And I'm trying to be like, no, I am not built for day after day after day of social interaction and busyness. It's not me. Can I do it? Yeah. But do I suffer for it? Yeah. You better believe it. And so, yeah. Then I had horrible dreams last night because I started this new book. It's like a Christmas murder mystery book, and it's not gruesome or anything. I don't read books that are scary or gruesome or paranormal stuff, but I do like murder mysteries that kind of trend towards Agatha Christie, and that's what this one is. It's similar to that style of writing, and I started it last night. I always read on my Kindle that's how I quiet my mind and get myself tired enough to fall asleep. And so I started it. I don't remember the name of the book. I'll have to write it down below. But it was good, and it was good. I was enjoying it. But then I fell asleep and I immediately went into a dream about a murder, and I was like one of the main characters in it. And I woke up from that dream and I was like, oh, I'm glad I woke up from that. I don't like dreaming those kind of dreams. I'm a very avid dreamer. I dream a lot and I often remember my dreams. So I went back to sleep, and then it literally feels like the whole entirety of the rest of the night I dreamt this horrible dream that I had cancer and I was dying. And that is what I woke up to this morning. And I woke up with tears on my face because in my dream I was just like so sad because I was going to be leaving my family. How depressing is this? How depressing is this Vlogmas episode? But anyway, there we go. Another sign to me, to my mind, to my body, to myself that I have overdone it and I need to chill out. So, yes. Here, cheers to being aware of oneself's limits and then actually listening to your limits. That was a little bit doom and gloomy, but it's real life, which is what vlog is. Like, Vlogmas is real life. It's not all knitting centric or crafty centric or whatever. So I'm wearing a hand knit sweater. This is the Felix sweater, and I knit this out of a Knit Picks yarn that I cannot remember. It's the pink. Actually, let me grab it because I haven't talked about this for a while, and it's just over here on my bookshelf, and my dog once slept in. Come on, Mitty. I know you can't see any of this. It's happening. Okay, I'm back. Mitty, do you want to say hi? Mitty, do you want to say hi? No, there she goes. She's got her little Christmas handkerchief on. Okay, that was totally a blind filming, so I have no idea if I actually filmed Mitty. These are the two yarns that I used to make this sweater. This is the Make It Tweed, I think it's called, and I think they have come out with a lot of colors since I ordered this. Yeah, Make It Tweed. And then this pink yarn is right here. I have a tag. Knit Picks Heatherly. Anyway, this is a cozy. This is more like a sweatshirt than a sweater. And it is knitted at a rather large gauge. I don't know that you can tell that. So I usually have to wear like a button-down shirt underneath it because between the large gauge and then these really large holes here at the raglan detailing, it's not warm enough to wear without something underneath. I mean, I could, but not in the middle of winter. Yeah, that's the details on that. What else? Pretty much today is like a big house cleanup. I gotta lean up against something. Just tired all over. Today is a big house cleaning because over the last 7 days I have been gone from my home way more than what is usual, and so it's been a lot of drop and run. Come home, drop stuff off, get something else, run out the door. And you know, I'm sure you all know what happens when you're doing that constantly and not taking time to put things away in their proper places. Plus my laundry is really far behind. So Lily and I are working on housework today, and I just thought I would take a few moments to stop and talk because I felt like I wanted to. I really just felt like I want to talk. I just want to talk, which is funny because I feel tired. It's funny that I want to talk. But you guys can get like the real me in these Vlogmas episodes. Yeah, that's how it is. And for those of you who don't know this, I've had a lot of new subscribers lately, and so I don't know who's watching, but I have had a how long has it been? 15, hold on, let me think about it. 2009 is when I had my very first severe panic attack. But I had panic attacks before that. I just didn't know that's what I was having. Okay, yeah, 2009, I had my first panic attack, and my kids were really tiny, and I became agoraphobic. And for those of you who do not know what that means, it means that you are afraid to leave your house. And I did not want to leave my house, and nor did I hardly ever leave my house for probably 6 months. Got to the point where I didn't even want to go out on my porch or walk to the end of my driveway to get my mail. And I hid that for a long time. Back in those days, I kept a blog, and I remember being so torn about wanting to share my struggles with that, but at the same time wanting to keep this like picture of myself as someone who was self-sufficient and, you know, ambitious and just not plagued by anxiety, panic attacks, and the fear of leaving her home. I prayed so much about it, and I finally opened up about it. And I think now, like, that might have been 2008. It was 08 or 09. I think it was 08 actually when all that started. And I feel like in those last years, 16 years, like in that time, people are way more open about stuff like that, about mental health struggles, challenges, and yeah. And so I'm gonna be, it's not like, okay, so I've been on a medication, like an antidepressant since then. I've tried to go off multiple times. It's never been a good thing. And it still really bothers me that I have to take something to regulate my mood, but I try to look at it as like, you know, God's grace for me, because I prayed for healing from it for so long, and I never got healing in the way that I wanted, which was just all of a sudden everything goes away and I don't deal with it anymore. Rather, I have poured hours and hours and hours of my life into different therapies and reading different books and learning different things and meeting different people, and I can see how God has really used it to connect me with people who I probably otherwise would not have connected with, because our only or mostly only commonality were struggles with anxiety or depression. So I try to look at it that way, even though I'm much better at that now, but it's still hard for me because I've always been a very ambitious, driven person, wanting to be self-sufficient and on top of things. And when you're dealing with depression or anxiety or panic disorder, it makes you feel the complete opposite. So I don't know. I honestly, when I sat down to film this today, I did not plan on talking about that. I'm going to take it as someone needed to hear that, because that was not in my plan. My plan was to sit down here and tell you about my busy weekend and talk about my sweater and tell you what I'm doing this week. But maybe somebody needed to hear that. So, I think the reason I even went down that pathway of conversation was because I wanted to say that one of the things in my healing process, I'm not healed from it the way that I wanted it to be, in the way that I asked to be. But I've learned so many things that help keep me grounded. And one of them is acknowledging my limits and not beating myself up over them, because I'm very much inclined to do that. I can be very self-critical of myself. And that comes with, I think, with like what they call a type A personality, which is what I definitely have. And so yeah, I'm going to be nice to myself this week. I do have some social engagements this week. I have a friend coming up tomorrow. It was a very last minute thing. She's just going to come up for a quick visit in the morning, and then Lily and I are going to my friend Danielle's house on Wednesday just for a visit, but those will be very chill things, and I can be myself during those visits, so that's not going to be anything where I have to like fake it. Which is what can happen sometimes when you go to social events where you don't know anybody. I'm having a second cup of coffee. That is how tired I am. But I've mentioned this before. I don't really drink caffeine anymore, but I am enjoying. So this morning I put just a little, we have an espresso machine, And so we grind our beans fresh before we pull our shot of espresso. So normally I do all decaf with maybe just a little bit of a sprinkling of the caffeinated beans in on top, which is what I did this morning. But I was like so tired that I went ahead and did almost a half and half shot, and that's what I'm drinking now. I'm hoping that it goes well. Sometimes it goes well and I get energy, other times it goes badly and I get anxious and heart palpitations. I gave up the reason I gave up caffeine is for that reason, because sometimes there's no rhyme or reason. Sometimes it affects me well and I feel good and I feel energized, and other times it's like I feel horrid and I feel super anxious and I get a lot of heart palpitations, which I already get because I have a heart valve defect. And so it's just like, I never know for sure. So I got to the point where I was like, I hate this like Russian roulette with my coffee. But today I'm going to sip it slow. I made sure I ate something before I drank it. It's kind of like alcohol. You got to have something on the stomach. Don't drink the caffeine with nothing on the stomach. So I'm sipping it slowly. It's warm. It's delightful. I love coffee. I love the smell of it. I love the taste of it. And I just have a little bit of soy milk in here and some honey. So that's all for my talking. I'm going to go clean some bathrooms, vacuum the house. The laundry is going. I can hear the dryer. It's tumbling our clothes. Washer's running. Lily cleaned the kitchen for me. It's looking good. I love a clean kitchen. The clean kitchen just makes me feel so great. When there's no dishes in the sink, I'm like, I can do anything. I might check back in later, but then again, I may not. I don't know. We'll have to see how the day goes. I'm holding lower expectations for myself today. But it was good to come and talk to you guys for a bit. Okay, I'm home. Did you happen to notice the little mishap at the pond? Yep, had my camera set up on the tripod and walked right by, not realizing how long those evergreen limbs were. Knocked it right down into the pond. So, my phone is still working, which is good, and hopefully it continues to keep working. We just got back to my house, and I'm going to put the evergreen a couple different places, maybe make a couple swags. I want to put them in my window box for sure, and my dad cut me a little bit extra in case I wanted to put it elsewhere. Also, another thing that I wanted to tell you, which I feel like I typically film this during Vlogmas, but I'm probably not this time because I'm kind of in a hurry. Actually, we have rain coming in, and so I want to get this done before that starts. But a little trick, if you have artificial evergreen wreaths that you hang outside, what I always do to make them look fuller and prettier and like they're actually real wreaths is I fill them in with pieces, just little pieces of actual evergreen, like real pine or whatever kind of evergreen trees you have around you, if you have access to that, or if you have a nursery that like gets rid of cuttings or whatever. It just makes them look so much nicer because you actually can't even tell that they're artificial when you start shoving them full of real evergreen. So I just wanted to put that little tip out there for anyone that hasn't watched my past Vlogmases. It's something I learned a while ago. So I don't know, like 5, 6, 7 years ago, and I've been doing that ever since. So anyway, okay, I'm gonna get to work. Lily's making dinner tonight. We got Hasselback potatoes, and she's gonna roast a chicken, make some veggies. Yummy. Okay, so Lily's making dinner tonight, and she is going to learn how to make spatchcock chicken. If you do not know what that is, it's basically just the way that you cut the chicken before you roast it. So I used to roast my chicken whole. I would just put the whole chicken in like you would roast a turkey. You know, I'd put all the seasonings and stuff on it. But I think it was a year ago, I checked out a cookbook from the library that I cannot remember the name of it, but it was actually one of those cookbooks that I would make multiple things from if I owned it. I don't know why I never purchased it. But anyway, it had a recipe for spatchcock chicken, and that is where I learned to do it. And it's just how you cut it. So you're basically cutting down the back, and that you flatten out the chicken, and it cooks faster, and it also just tastes better because everything kind of gets like crunchy on the outside and tender and moist on the inside. So if you've never made chicken that way before, you should check it out. If I remember, which is a possibility that I will not, if I remember, I will put it down below. But hopefully I can remember when I'm editing to write what it's called on the screen. So if I forget to link to like a how-to video, you can at least see how you spell it.